My heart says 1-1. Be a massive result for us and a disaster for you.
Yeah, made history this season. This is the 6th and final London derby of the season for when you're looking at who's chasing us. Manchester City, you got to be near enough perfect. How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Box to Box. The season's coming to an end real soon. 8 games to go. And this time round, we're at West Ham right here at the London Stadium. And I'm here with my good friend Dan Lawless from West Ham FANTV. What are you saying, Dan? All good?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. I mean, a lot's happened since the last time I come on with both our teams. We've gone in massively different directions. I mean, I went near enough viral last time I come on this show. Boy, so there's a lot to get into for sure, mate.
I mean, look, let's start with the Conference League because, you know, it was only just last night that, you know, you drew 1-1 away to Ghent. A good result for you guys?
It's the result that we went for. Obviously, Moyes set up for the draw on the balance of the game. They had like 15 chances to our 5.
Yeah.
So overly good result. We bring it back here. We probably win, but it doesn't fill me with confidence for the rest of the competition. You know what I mean? If we play like that against Fiorentina, you know, we're gonna lose. So we got to find the performances.
What has it been about this season? Because, you know, over the years, it seemed like West Ham seemed to be headed in the right direction. It seemed like Moyes turned out to be a good appointment. All of a sudden, I mean, the last time we spoke, you was quite upset with Moyes and you could kind of see a replacement potentially coming in soon, but he's still here. A lot of managers have left their clubs in the Premier League, more so recently. But West Ham have, you know, stuck with David Moyes, and at the moment, 3 points above the relegation zone. I think 9 points behind Chelsea in 11th. But you're the only team that's got a game in hand in the bottom half of the table. So
Against Man City, by the way.
Oh, well, that's one you're going to have to do us a favour. Where's that, here or at Etihad?
Etihad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Let me not get my hopes up.
Yeah, don't.
Let me not get my hopes up. But where has it gone wrong for you lot? Why are we here right now talking about the potential of West Ham going down?
So many things. I mean, look, I've got to ultimately put it down to the manager. He's, you know, the main responsible party. Like, this bad run of form started December 2021. Carlton Cole tried to come out and say, oh, we got all these new signings and they got a gel. No. It went back to December 2021 where we was making excuses because, oh, we're in Europe, small squad, right? We had a chance to strengthen January. No, we'll wait till the summer. We'll get the right players in. Summer comes, we're getting the right players in. Still getting players in. Moyes doesn't utilise to their strengths. Skamaka, obviously, he's been injured quite a bit this season. Doesn't play to his strengths. Paqueta, he identifies him and goes, yeah, this guy's great. Like, he could be the next Payet. He's a playmaker and all this. He's not. Finally figures out he should be a number 8. Finally plays him there. So, and the fact that we went from a counter-attacking team to a possession-based team, or tried to. We don't dominate possession at all.
You tried.
You know what I mean? It's all of these factors have come into play. The off-the-pitch stuff. I'm hearing all this stuff about the players just not believing in Moyes' approach, losing players, all of this stuff. That all, I think, is compounded, and he's just got it massively wrong. Moyes has one way of playing. He has one approach. And if that doesn't work, if that gets found out, done.
So you know, is Moyes here till the end of the season? I mean, if it does get worse and you do creep closer to the relegation zone, do you see the club acting, or do you think they've made their choice now? All eggs in the Moyes basket to see what comes out of it.
Well, we've been in so many situations where it's like, okay, he's got these next few games to save his job. If he loses this game, he's done. Yeah. Or if he loses these 2 games, he's done. And he always just does it. Like Fulham. I was hearing if we lost the Fulham game, he would be sacked. We won the Fulham game. We're through an own goal. So I think at this point, it's just they're scared. They're scared that if they sack Moyes, they don't know who to get, who's out there that they can get to steady the ship. So he probably is here now. At this point, it's past the point of no return.
Yeah.
For me, I looked at it and thought, if we get to the point where it's just we're in free fall, I don't want to just sack him right now for the sake of sacking him, because I don't trust that they'll go out and, you know, won't get a permanent manager on a desperation move. Do you know what I mean? I want to wait till the summer, get the right guy in, not just, oh, let's go get Rafa Benitez and give him a 3-year deal. No, I don't want that.
I mean, at the same time, I guess the Conference League is still the light at the end of the tunnel for you guys. If he was to come out and, you know, potentially win that, and keep West Ham up, is his future at the Hammers?
No, like
That would be harsh, though. If he brings you a European trophy and then...
A lot of people have said that, oh, it's harsh if he keeps us up and wins the Conference League, right? Look at Di Matteo. He won the Champions League for Chelsea, and they said they're goodbyes because you could see.
They did stick with him for a little while.
For a little bit, yeah, they did. But I think where we're going into a new season, we have to look at the future. You can't look at it on sentiment. Yeah, like if he does that, deserves plaudits. And on paper, doesn't deserve to be sacked, right? Because of what he's achieved.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the future, we have to do what's best for the club. And this form has been too bad for too long. And we need to rebuild. We need a quality manager to come in. I'm tired of seeing the crap football we play under Moyes. You know, if you're not gonna be challenging up at the other end of the table, you at least want to be entertained. So, we need a fresh start. Someone, a quality manager in with fresh ideas who can play decent football and has a decent track record. He's done. I think and this is gonna sound bad, but I think he needs to go Norwich or something. Like that's where he'd be.
You're
perfect.
Selecting his next team.
Yeah, like small squad, punch above their weight. That he's just shown he gets a big squad. He cannot handle a big squad.
That's fair. You mentioned the big away win last weekend. A big one for Moyes, but a big one for you lot as well in terms of trying to, stay up this season. But just before that, you was here against Newcastle, a 5-1 loss. And this season in general, you've tended to be better at home than away from home. But that was a big loss.
Yeah, man, that loss. I mean, I've never seen so many just bad errors from players in one game. I can't blame Moyes too much because we was looking decent at times, but the bad mistakes like Fabianski, I don't know what he's doing there, trying to chest the ball out and missing it, and Aguerd, who's been brilliant. So yeah, that one I think comes, and then after that they just lost their heads. It was a head loss. So yeah, we haven't really been. It's literally only that game and Brighton where we've been smacked.
Yeah.
So that one was a shocker, like honestly. So yeah, home, like you said, we've been pretty relatively decent.
Yeah.
Like we've won 2 away games all season. So it's our home form that we've looked at to just keep us in this league.
Keep you steady, yeah. And looking at Arsenal's form coming to both London Stadium and Upton Park, I think we've only lost one in a very long time. I can't, I think we've lost one in the last 10 years, I believe. Which, bodes well for us coming here because we need the 3 points after the draw at Anfield, which on one hand, it's a good point gained considering the way the second half went and Ramsdale coming out as man of the match. On another hand, going 2-0 up and controlling the game the way we did for the first 35, 40 minutes, it does feel like 2 points drop. But what it does mean is there's no room for error now. We got Manchester City coming up in a couple of weeks. After you is Southampton, then City. We've got to win both games. So it's important for us to come here and win. And I do look at form and I do look at, how successful Arsenal in particular have been at away grounds when the game is upcoming. But at the same time, I know form can go out the window. How confident are you with Arsenal coming here that you can take something?
Not confident at all. I'd be lying if I said I was confident. Yeah, I mean, look, you've been brilliant this season, home or away. But like, it's going to be interesting how you cope with the pressure in this run because now it's equally in Man City's hands as it is in your hands. Like, if Man City win all their games, they win the league because they're playing you. They've got to play you. If you win all your games, you win the league. Yeah. So like you said, every single game is crucial. And what went wrong for Arsenal last season was because you had top 4 in your hands, right?
Yeah.
And it came back to bite you. It was the excuse of the young squad crumbling under the pressure or not being able to deal with that pressure. Injuries, yeah. Now we're in this run-in. Can you, because it's these type of games, and that was the same with last season, it's these type of games where Arsenal should be expected to win, which were stumbling blocks.
Yeah.
So I'm not confident, but I think there's a small chance we could maybe get a draw. Potentially. That's what I hold out hope for. I've hated Moyes going into games, setting up for a draw all season. I'd fully endorse it for this game.
Yeah.
Because I think that's been your one sort of almost tricky area. You've overcome it for the most part, but when teams set up defensively, sort of low block style, it's caused a lot of frustration for you.
Everton being one of the standout ones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Everton. So, like, if we try and go toe to toe or try and go at you, like, you're just gonna come back and it's gonna be embarrassing. So that's the only hope I get. Look, if Moyes wins this, I've said ceasefire, right? I'm not gonna say anything bad. End of the season. So the end of the season, I'll be silent. You know what I mean? I'll give him his props.
You'll assess it then.
Yeah. No, I'll still want him to go, but I'm not gonna badmouth the guy to the end of this because that'd be an incredible result. But it's probably not gonna happen. Draw. There's a small chance it could happen, and that would be a massive result for us and a disaster for you.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of your most winnable games, and it hurts to say that. It's one of your most winnable games coming up. So, massive pressure on you guys, no pressure on us, because if we lose it, we're just going to be like, we expected that, you know.
But there must be a bit of pressure considering how close you are to the relegation.
There is.
I think there's more pressure on us considering it's our first league challenge for 19. Well, there's been a couple there where people might say, you know, you're challenging for the league, but in my honest opinion, I haven't been confident over those times. This time, I'm quite confident we got a squad that can do it. But there is a bit of pressure on West Ham as well to get something out of the game. Yeah,
of course, like in terms of survival, but like where we look at our fixture running, right, and the games we've got. So we've still got you to play. We've got Liverpool here.
City.
We've got Man City away, which is our game in hand, like I said. But we've also got Palace, Leicester, Leeds, Bournemouth. Yeah. So they're the games we're looking at and going, right, that's crucial. If we lose against Arsenal, we're expected to lose it. It's obviously sticky because that could put us back down there, but the big pressure comes on those other games around us. We get something huge, but we're not going to sit there and stress and panic about it unless you smack us like differently, like 4-5-0 again, you know what I mean? Then
we could do with that with the goal difference that Man City have over us.
Exactly, that's because that is why Man City, they have that advantage, that goal difference. That's so that's what you need. Like, it's just to go all out, but it's going to be...
Yeah, if Man City win all their games and we win all but that one at the Etihad, it goes down to goal difference.
Yeah, exactly.
So that looks like an important area that, you know, hopefully we can narrow the gap. But listen, you mentioned our best away form in the league, in particular against, you know, London teams, London derbies. You know, we've made history this season. Clean sheets in all 5 away from home. Palace 2-0, Tottenham 2-0, Chelsea 1-0, Brentford 3-0, Fulham 3-0. This is the 6th and final London derby of the season for us away from home. And looking at Arsenal, I mean, I feel a lot more secure away from home. I don't know what it is, but defensively, we just seem a bit more composed. I think at home, being at home with the crowd, we tend to kind of go on the front foot a bit and try and take it to teams, and that leaves us sometimes exposed at the back. Away from home, we've had a maturity about us. And that's strange to say when you consider how young we are, youngest team in the league, youngest manager in the league. What do you make of Arsenal this season? You know, there was a lot of doubters 14 games in. It's only 14 games. Once Jesus was injured, it's all over now. When that January run came with Tottenham and United City in the FA Cup, this is going to be the time for Arsenal's slip-ups. Then we had a little slip-up, Everton, Brentford. We lost against City and they went above us in the league. But ever since that City game, when they went above us on goal difference, we've won 7 out of 8, with Anfield being the draw amongst the bunch. What do you make of Arsenal this season? Are we the real deal?
Yeah, I mean, I think this season you're definitely proving to be the real deal. I mean, I think the key has been momentum. You've been able to ride that momentum and not, you know, been able to get to the point where, okay, you know, you're losing a game and then you're losing the next game and then it kills you. You're always able to bounce back. And that momentum, I think, has just carried you through. Some really smart signings in the summer. I mean, and January, Trossard signing,
big,
crazy.
Jorginho's even come in and done a job here and there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I was literally just speaking to troops about the Trossard. And we're talking about Mudryk you was going for.
Yeah.
We've seen what Mudryk, you know, you didn't get Mudryk, you got Trossard. How different things could have been. Yeah, like if you got Mudryk, and I think he would have been a bit better at ours because of the team he's coming into, but he probably might not have been as effective and got going as quickly as Trossard. Yeah, Trossard, you know what I mean? He's a quality player, Prem proven, coming in, slotted in nicely. So, yeah, smart transfer moves, I think, has helped. Still light defensive, sort of in depth in certain areas.
Yeah.
You know, squad depth, but you've managed to avoid too many disastrous injuries. Partey hasn't had as many injuries this season, which I think has definitely helped. So whatever they're doing in that regard, like they were sending someone out to like on the national duty with him to
monitor him. And
like they're doing everything they can to try and see this over the line.
Jesus aside, I think we've done well on the injury front. But saying that, Saliba's been out for quite a little while now. It looks like he'll be out of the game this Sunday, and that is a big loss. Although Holding has come in and done pretty well. I was worried about him against Liverpool, but a couple moments from him which are to be expected, but none, in my opinion, that cost us. Obviously, he conceded the penalty as well. Salah missed it, but it is what it is. I mean, we've got to get the job done. I think looking at West Ham this season, looking at your form, looking at the quality, and looking at Moyes' position right now, I think we should come and get the job done regardless of Saliba's injury. But we'll see. Listen, you know how we end this show, predictions, and as the home team, Dan, you go first with the prediction.
Oh man, head or heart? That's the question.
Give us both. Give us both. Some fans tend to give us both.
Yeah, my heart says 1-1. Head says 3-0. I think Saka is going to have a field day. And look, I have to comment on that because we talked about him last time. I've always thought he's a quality player. There was a thing about strength, and I think I underestimated his strength based on what I saw in the England game.
Yeah.
I disagree that with a lot of people saying to me strength is his biggest asset. I think that does him a disservice. I think what people perceive as strength is football IQ and technical ability. He knows where to put his body and when. So he's not weak, he's not lightweight, but I still disagree to people that say, oh yeah, his best attribute is strength. It's not. The guy is a very, very clever player. And he always plays well against us. So, yeah, I think...
He's developing well on all fronts. I know what you mean.
Yeah, he's becoming a well-rounded player.
He's got a lot of assets to his game.
Exactly. He's becoming a very well-rounded player overall. But yeah, when I look at him, I think, wow, for so young, the football IQ that he has, he's just going to go and develop that. And yeah, he's the player that I'm worried about.
So that would be your key threat then?
Yeah, because I look at that and he's obviously going to be going up against... I think, who are we going to play there? Creswell, Emerson. Emerson's been decent but neither are defensively sound players.
For you to be confident about that one-on-one.
That's the worry. So we may play like a back five and then put like Ogbonna there on the left to give him some sort of Aguerd. So you have Aguerd, Creswell, try and double up on him. If it's Creswell, you remember, I can't remember who he tackled at the Emirates a few seasons ago, that bad tackle.
Oh,
was it Lacazette or someone?
I forgot who it was, but I remember Creswell involved.
So if Creswell's done, expect him to get kicked about. We'll see if the ref helps you out at all, but yeah. It could be a very physical game.
What about the other side? Just before I make my prediction, because Martinelli's the one that's he's on fire at the moment. Got a goal and assist at Anfield. He's got 7 goals in the last 8 games.
Yeah. He's a good player. He had that quiet spell, didn't he? Like there was a point where he was just gone quiet a little bit.
Post World Cup, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously because Saka gets all the plaudits, he does go under the radar. But he is a very good player. He's going up against Soufal, who went off the radar a bit. He spoke out against Moyes. Moyes seemed to drop him, but he has to. If it's Ben Johnson on the right, Martinelli's having a field day.
Yeah.
Soufal has to play. He's got that physicality about him that I think can deal with him as much as you can of a player that is that good in form. So that's what we need on that side. If it's Johnson, boy, he's having a part. And I love Johnson, but he's just not been on it, man.
I hear you. All right, cool. So your heart's saying 1-1, head's going 3-0.
I hate saying that, man.
I'm going to go for a clean sheet and hope that we round up the London derbies with all clean sheets away from home. I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal.
If you don't win this, are you going to feel like league's done? Or do you feel like, it's not the end of the world?
I won't feel like the league's done, but I'll be close to that. I'll be very close to that. Because, like I said, after that point at Anfield, which on one hand is a good point, but on the other, when you're looking at who's chasing us, Manchester City, you got to be near enough perfect. So I'd be close to feeling like the league's done if we don't get a win here.
And Liverpool have been in your position a few times and have found out, like, you never write off Man City.
Can't.
You've got a player like Haaland,
They've got a machine up top. 30 goals already this season, due to break the record.
Yeah. Honestly, some people thought Son would get near him in goals, you know, but I'm not going to say too much about that. But yeah, so
Get your money.
Yeah, it's a good one it's a good race for the neutral. I think. Look, at the end of the day, you've whatever happens, you can hold your head up and go, do you know what? We ran a good race.
Yeah.
And it's going to be exciting. It's going to go down to the wire. So yeah, man, enjoy. I mean, I'm glad. I want to be in your position, but it must be horrible. Like, it's good, it's fun. But boy, man,
I want to lose myself and just go mad. But at the same time, with Manchester City chasing us,
it's sickening. Like, every game must be like your heart is in your mouth.
Yeah.
So boy, good luck with that. But we'll see come end of the season, man.
Thank you, Dan, as always. Let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, West Ham Fan TV. So find us, obviously. We're going to have a lot of previews going up on there. Got a video out with Troops coming up. Watch along, all of that stuff, and the post-match stuff. Also, at DLawless on Twitter. You'll find me on all sorts of channels, doing all sorts of shows.
Nice one. There you go, people. We're going to tag it in the title. Last but not least, make sure you look after Declan Rice for us.
Oh, come on. I'm surprised it took you this long to mention him. I'm surprised it took you this long, but we'll see what he does next
From
season.
inside the club, does it seem like Arsenal are the favourites for it, or...?
No, they're the ones, from what I'm hearing, they're the ones that have expressed the most interest so far.
Okay.
So at the moment, you're in the lead because no one else has really pushed for it. So you are in the race. But I'd be interested to see if he scores the winner against you lot here, and you know, cost you the league. How are you going to look at it? Like,
Declan, allow it. Listen, allow it. You want to come to the Premier League winners. That's what you want.
But he might get himself in from Man City if that happens. But yeah, you are. So we'll see in the summer. I think a lot of clubs are going to come in for him. We'll see who's going to be paying the asking price. I think we're going to, we're going to be demanding a lot of money, and we'll see who's willing to slap it down. If you win the league, you're going to have maybe a bit of extra transfer money to play with. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's a saga that none of us are going to enjoy because the rumours are going to be crazy.
They already started,
do keep it tuned into AFTV to get all the updates on there. And obviously we'll have some updates on our channel as well.
There you go, people. Make sure you show some love to West Ham Fan TV. Show some love to Dan as well. We'll put the socials in the description. Give us your predictions in the comment section. Thoughts, lineups. Saliba out, so it kind of picks itself, but it is what it is. Love for the love, people. We'll see what happens Sunday. Peace.